no one walks into a wedding saying next time.
Yeah.
No one does.
I
mean, if someone does, that's a little sad if someone does, but no one walks in saying next time. And so you have one shot to help them have a good night.
Yeah. Welcome back to Weddings Unwrapped, the show where we dive into the stories behind the businesses that started from nothing but a dream. I'm Daniel Driggs, the owner of Crisp Catering and the Northampton House. And today I have a very special guest with me, DJ Scotty J, one of the best DJs in all of Utah. I've worked with him since I've been in this business. Mm-hmm. One of my very first events was with DJ Scotty J, and he has just continued to improve, continued to connect with these brides and and parties. You're just a party animal. I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for being on. Thanks for, giving our listeners some knowledge, and if they want to start a DJ business or what to look for as when they are looking for a DJ and things like that. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. Okay, well, let's go into it. Tell me about your first gig, your very first gig into the DJing world. Let's go through it. How'd it go?
Okay, perfect. My first ever gig was a New Year's Eve karaoke.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't even DJing. I just wanted to DJ.
You get into DJing too?
Yeah. So I just wanted to, I always went to parties in college. I just wanted to party. That's all I wanted to do. And I went to a party and I was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
So I saved up for a year, YouTubed it, all of that stuff. Ran into someone at Guitar Center that was a wedding DJ. And I was like, people have DJs for weddings?
Yeah.
Who does that? Okay.
Yeah.
And so, he showed me how to DJ a wedding, gave me a karaoke gig. And then from there, I was doing a wedding maybe once a month, once every other month, because I had gear and I was like, I want to party. So let me come party.
Yeah. Who was so go into your very first gig. What was, you said a karaoke gig or go through that.
Yeah, it was awesome. I couldn't believe that like people were going to sing through my speakers. I was like, I'm so cool right now. And just provided the speakers. It was a long line. People loved their karaoke and I did not know that because I don't do karaoke.
Yeah.
And so, people just sang all night. And then at 11:30, we closed it all down and went into the party and finished off dancing. But that was the first event I ever did.
That's hilarious. And then what was the first wedding? Walk me through that. And how'd you get that first gig? I think that's one of the hard things that people or have a hard time with is how do you start? How do you even get a first gig? Walk me through that.
Yeah, I just went up to one of my friends. He said he was getting married. And I said, hey, can I DJ your wedding? He was like, well, we can't really pay you that much. I was like, that's okay. I just want to party with you guys. Yeah. So can I do it? And I believe it was in either March or April that next year was my first ever wedding that I DJ'd. And I didn't know what I was doing. I just showed up, set up my speakers, and then played song after song and banger after banger and had an awesome night. Yes. Yeah, that was the first wedding I ever did. So
wow, that's cool. That's cool. How do you even pick your songs? That's always been something that I've been curious about. Is how do you even know what's going to be a banger? I feel like if I played a song and it's offbeat, I wouldn't get it. Yes, walk me through that.
No, it comes with time and everything, but then also just thinking about what you like.
Yeah.
Right? Every day I listen to different music. And so, for example, Mondays are my new music Monday. And so I spend that whole day listening to all of the new music that has come out, see what's on the top charts and everything, what people find to be really good. And I throw that in a little playlist for myself to just get ready for events, practice it out. But then, I ask whoever's hiring me, what do you like? What do you not like? Because I personally love the Backstreet Boys. Grew up listening to them on my little CD Walkman.
Yes.
Absolutely love them. And so, that's what I like. But yeah, I always like to know what my couples want to listen to, because sometimes they don't want, for example, Taylor Swift. Others
Yeah.
are total Swifties. And so that sort of points me in direction of, okay, perfect. If they don't like Taylor Swift, maybe they wouldn't like Harry Styles. So let's ask that. Or maybe they
Interesting.
would like more of the 2010s songs, like the Nickies, the Keshas, that kind of stuff, right? And really
Yeah.
digging into what they want and then reading the crowd and seeing how they interact.
Fun.
Because, yeah, I mean, DJ selection, I probably play close to 200 songs, maybe 300 songs a night.
Wow.
But I'm always throwing out a song here and there to see what the reaction is. Because if it takes off, then I'm like, okay, perfect. I store that away and I'm like, great.
Yeah.
This song is an amplified version of that. So I'm going to play that later. But if it doesn't work and people are like, ooh, huh. And I
Yeah.
see those faces, then I'm just like, get out and let's try something else. So
Interesting. So you go through 200 songs. Sorry, I'm going to dig into this in 2 hours. So you're spending a minute, 2 minutes per song. Walk me through that.
I think the most I've ever gone through in an hour. So 200 songs is typically for a full day.
Yeah,
So
okay.
from ceremony till the end of the night, 200 or 300 songs,
Yeah.
just depending
Yeah.
on the vibe, because no one during ceremony wants to hear wiki wiki and transition out, right? But for dancing, I think the most songs I've ever gone through is 70 or 80 songs where it's like we're going to hit a portion of this song because, for example, Low by Flo Rida.
Yeah.
People don't know the chorus. I mean, the verses. They don't really know that, but they know the chorus.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, sweet. Let's just hit the best parts of each song and get onto the next song, because
Interesting.
how many people have been to a dance where it's like, yeah, and then no one knows the words and the song keeps going, right? And so, I try to keep it upbeat, keep it going. Even if it is a slower song, you can always transition and bring them up, bring them down, and really play with them. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So when did you decide I am doing 1 gig a month to I'm going all in? This is what I want to do. I love it. I love that my Mondays I get to listen to new music all day. That's the coolest gig or part of a job I've ever heard.
I love
It's like my job. I have to listen to new music for a couple hours. It's just part of. But how do you switch from I'm doing this as a hobby to this is how I'm going to provide for my family? I know you're married. Do you have kids yet?
yeah, I have a little girl.
I knew that. I knew that.
She
We just
just
talked
turned
about that.
2.
Yeah. So, how did that transition happen? Was it scary? Walk me through emotions. Walk me through everything there.
No, 100%. Yeah. So I started full time January of 2021.
Okay.
That's when I officially made my business, because I had just finished with my master's degree in audio engineering. I wanted to move out to LA, work in a recording studio, do post-production on movies, live sound for bands, all of that stuff. And 6 weeks before I was moving out, I had an apartment. This thing called COVID happened.
I haven't heard of it. Wow.
No, it was just a small little period, insignificant amount of time. Shut down everything. And so I was like, oh my gosh, LA is probably not the best place to go right now.
Yeah.
So moved back to Utah for a bit because they canceled my school, met my wife. We had a typical Utah wedding where it was like
COVID wedding.
And
That's
COVID
great.
wedding.
That's
we
perfect.
met in April, engaged in August, married in November.
Yeah.
Insane,
that's
right?
COVID.
That was COVID.
We're stuck together. We have to spend time with each other. We
Have to.
don't want to infect anyone else.
Yeah, and
That's
so
awesome.
I ended up moving back to Utah, worked at the KSL News radio station, worked at a recording studio, but neither one could offer me a full-time job. And I was married. I spent all my money on the ring. Everything. I think I had $200 in my account left. I thought that's what you were supposed to do. And so I spent everything on that ring.
Yes.
And then we got married, and I didn't have a job because no one would hire me full time because everyone that was out of a job that was going for the same stuff I was had more experience than me. And so, yeah, I started my company out of desperation. My wife said, why don't you take DJing full time and see what happens? So,
Wow.
yeah, I took it full time, and I'm pretty religious. And so after a lot of prayer and fasting, just worked my way through all of the hard times because I wasn't booking.
Yeah.
And I think I got my first real booking in February, and then it just snowballed and just kept going. And I had to make a decision in April because I was offered a job.
Wow.
And I was like, do I take this job or do I keep going? Because I have a good feeling about this. And my wife said, I'll support you with whatever. And so I kept going with DJing. And now full time, I have 2 other DJs. Never thought that I would be DJing this much. I've DJed for about 350 couples now.
Wow.
And since then, yeah, and absolutely love my job. Last year, I think was the record I DJ'd for 90 weddings. So
Wow. That's awesome.
it was so fun. So
And that's crazy because you only had February, March. You get a job offer April. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I have to base basically on the shortest month of the year. And then March,
Yes.
I have to base my forever, or not really, but I have to, my foreseeable future on this gamble that I'm going to.
100%.
That's cool. What gave you the, I know you said you're religious, but what gave you the drive and the kind of confidence to go for it April?
My wife was a huge part of that. Like her telling me, hey, I believe in you. I think you can do this. Besides your parents and your family, right? Never had someone ever say that to me. And so having that confidence from her, and then having the example of my dad. My dad provided for us my entire life. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. She homeschooled us, all of that stuff. And my dad just worked like crazy. And so he was the greatest work example I could ever have. And then having the confidence from my wife, because she was working as a school teacher. So we had some type of fallback, but yeah, that confidence to know, hey, you can do this, because I'm not a salesman, I'm a DJ, right?
Yes.
I tried summer sales for what? It was a week.
A couple weeks.
And I was like, this is not my thing. I can't sell. But I realized I can sell what I love. I can sell a dream. I can sell an idea if I actually believe in that. And so, yeah, I believe that a DJ makes a big difference, especially when they care about you, right?
Yeah.
Like weddings are scary things.
Yeah.
Like no one walks into a wedding saying next time.
Yeah. No,
No one
does.
I mean,
Hopefully.
if someone does,
Hopefully
that's a little sad if someone does,
Yes.
but no one walks in saying next time. And so you have one shot to help them have a good night.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, through the years, definitely have developed that confidence that, hey, I'm here to help you have that one night.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. I love that it's, I specifically agree that one time, yes, it's, they come in, it is their only time they're going for it. I often say it's like a airplane. If you knew that you were going to crash 100 times, you wouldn't book the person, or you wouldn't book the caterer, or you would never fly again if you knew 100 times you would crash.
Yeah, no.
So you have to be exact on weddings. You have to provide exactly what they want. And obviously we try. We try every time to make it perfect. We try every time to make it the best day ever. Yeah, but there is those expectations of perfection. How do you kind of deal with that? That perfectionism that every bride expects on their day.
No, yeah. I mean, I would say the basis of it is building a relationship with them, right? Because I don't know, for caterers, for me, I am sort of like the voice of the wedding.
Yeah.
I'm the MC. I'm that person standing
Yeah.
out there. And so to build a relationship with my couples means the world to me. I try to jump on calls with them, take them out to lunch, really try to get to know them so that when DJ Scotty shows up,
Yes.
they're like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I can think about grandma. I can think about this. I tell them, don't think about anything but each other because it's about you.
Yeah.
That's why you hire good vendors so that they take care of all of these different parts. And so, yeah, I try to build that relationship so when they show up, they're like full confidence in me. And then, yeah, I practice during the week. I practice mixes. I practice emceeing, listen to music, upkeep my gear, buy new gear, all of that stuff so that it does go off without a hitch, right?
Yeah.
And then I have backups for everything.
Interesting. Like you get sick. You have your backup DJs. That's cool. Talk to me. Yeah. You kind of mentioned your typical day in the life of a DJ, but walk me through, how do you compartmentalize the things? What are the to-do lists? Walk me through that.
A have-to-do list for like a wedding.
Yes. Or a have to for a wedding, or
Perfect.
your weekly to-do list that you're doing every week.
Oh, yeah. No, totally. I mean, I love the gym, and the gym is my mental clarity place. And so, yeah, I go to the gym, I work out, I make myself feel good. Because if I'm not feeling good, I don't feel like I'm able to provide enough for my couples. I try to make sure I'm in shape so that I'm not gassed after loading out, right? And so, yeah, I start with myself. I try to make myself the best I can. And then, I mean, my checklist for the day, I always tell my couples they have the full day, whether they hire me for 8 to 10 hours or 3 hours. I'm not doing something in the morning. I'm not doing anything like that. I've tried that before.
Yeah.
Not the best thing.
Stresses you out.
Yeah, it stresses me out, and I keep that to myself. But I'm like, I need to provide for my couples. And so, yeah, I don't do other stuff those days.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I mean, it goes through making sure I have the gear. I show up 2 to 3 hours early, depending on which location. Make sure it's all set up before
if it's the capital, it's 5 hours early.
Oh my goodness. I always say add half an hour at least for an elevator.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. And if it's another one that has a fire escape on the outside, you add 2 hours.
Yes. Oh, I always feel bad for the DJ that's carrying in it's so much equipment. It's so much. I love that you start out with the gym because it's a very, very grueling couple hours of setup. I love it.
Oh yeah. And then when you go out and you DJ, I mean, it's all that adrenaline running, but then during the dancing, I try to get out there and dance with the party. Because like I'm here to party with you guys too, because that's why I got into DJing.
That's why you do it.
I am there to party as well.
Yeah.
And so I want to make them have such a fun time. And if that means that, hey, I'm dancing with grandma, I am moving a table, I'm taking down chairs, anything like that, I am there to make their job non-existent. They're there to get married. They shouldn't have to think about that. If that means setting plates out, I've done that before.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, I love that. Now, walk me through, you've done hundreds and hundreds of events. What's your most memorable number one event that you've ever done, whether it's a wedding or anything? Walk me through it.
Oh my goodness. I have so many weddings that come to mind. I would say the number one memorable event I've done, it was Utah State.
Okay.
It was a college party. It was the beginning of the year, and I had a 45-minute set. Didn't need to bring any gear, just my board and my laptop. And I get there, it's all good. About 5 minutes before I go on, I look out, and there are thousands of people.
That's awesome.
Thousands. I've never seen a sea of people that big that I was going to perform for.
That's cool.
They had 10,000 people coming in and out the entire night.
Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh. And I almost
Yeah.
ran behind the tree and unloaded
I'm out. I'm done.
I was like, I don't want to do this. And then I was like, you know what? This is what you're here for.
This is it.
got up there, blacked out for 45 minutes, and it was over. I was like, this is insane. That
Don't
was
remember
so much.
a single thing.
Don't remember. I have videos. It was amazing. But yeah, I would say that is probably the most memorable event because I realized, wow, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can DJ for whether it's 30 people, for 8,000 people. I can do this. This is my thing. And that's when I realized this is what I will always want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. The adrenaline that I can't even imagine. I look at some of those like performers, like what's the group that wears the masks before they feel confident they take off the mask? It's 21 Pilots.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And they start off each concert wearing a mask because they have serious stage fright. And so they pretend that and then the second they rip off their mask, they're in the groove. They're ready to go. I'm sure it was similar fun. 45 minutes of like, I don't know where I am, but I'm going for it.
But I'm
here.
This
is awesome. I'm here. Oh, that is an amazing, amazing story. That's cool. Now tell me most unexpected, crazy thing that's ever happened in an event. Go through there.
Okay. Wow. I'm trying to think of one that is like a good crazy.
I know. That's how I look at that. It's like, oh no, I have some crazy, but I can't say names. I
can't say names. I would say good crazy was, I mean, other people have done it, but we were in the backyard and we were doing this new game that this one mom recommended, and I'm like, this is awesome. It's like a trivia 20 questions game, but you have all of these bills and like 5 ones, 5 fives, 5 tens, something like that, and you ask these questions like first person to bring the bride and groom a baby gets $1.
Funny.
So they sold their baby for $1. Haha, right? Yes. First person to do 5 push-ups gets $5.
Interesting.
I said first person to jump in the pool gets $10. And this little kid went to go, and this lady out of nowhere stiff arms the kid to the ground, jumps off, and cannonballs into the pool.
No.
And she said, I won! Here you go.
Here's $10.
At the end of the night, everyone was in the pool, obviously, but that was so much fun. And they partied so hard too. And so,
how old was the kid? Just so we have a good vision.
Kid was about 10.
All right. Better than like 2.
Yes. Okay, better than 2. Kid was 10. Girl was in college. Right,
good. Okay, good.
It was so funny to just see. And people like, whoa.
Yes. That's hilarious. Okay. Now, what makes Utah DJing different than everywhere else? You've DJ'd multiple places, but what makes the Utah DJ scene different and unique?
Yeah, I mean, every place has a different way to DJ, and it's so cool. I went to a conference in Las Vegas last week or the week before and got to see all of these DJs across the country perform. And I was like, wow, you guys all are so different. It was really cool to see, and I've DJ'd in Arizona, Idaho as well. Different style of DJing, but what makes Utah different, I would say, is you have 2 to 3 hour receptions. That's not a common thing outside of Utah.
Interesting.
At all.
What is it? What's typical?
Typically, it is only full day weddings where they go to the venue, they get married, they do a cocktail hour, dinner, reception, dancing, after party, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas in Utah, they get married in a temple.
Yeah.
They do a luncheon.
Yeah.
And then 3 hours later or 4 hours later, depending on the whole thing, they do the reception. And so, yeah, that is very different. And at those receptions, no alcohol.
Yeah.
And they just have dirty sodas and they lose their minds. Yes. Lose their minds, especially if the couple is still in college. They lose their minds. And it is so funny because you have these people that are totally drunk.
Yeah.
They party, super fun as well. but then you have the dirty sodas and they get people going. Yes. And I mean, you guys provide I was going to say,
this
drinks.
Leads perfect into the sponsorship. We are sponsoring, Crisp is sponsoring our soda bar. We do great. We do a soda bar. It's awesome. No, yes.
I would say Crisp parties are definitely the biggest parties.
Good. So if you want a party, this is a perfect sponsorship, perfect ad, perfect placement. That's perfect. Okay, good.
We work well together.
Yes. Thanks for leading into that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. I'll collect my check after.
Thank you. All right. Well, no, I think that's one of the funniest things I've seen too is it is crazier than a lot of events we've seen here with a lot of alcohol are sometimes these Utah Mormon parties, and I love it. It's great.
It is so fun. Yeah, there was one party. It was in November or December, and they had a dirty soda bar. You guys were providing it.
Let's go.
And by the end of the night, the windows were dripping.
No way.
They were dripping. The walls were dripping.
Like sweat?
Sweat on his, I don't know what it was. I don't want to think about it. I wiped all my gear down at the end, but I was like, wow. They were just dripping because they were having such a fun time. It was insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All that Dr. Pepper.
Yes. I was wondering. I was like, are they just throwing Dr. Pepper everywhere? That's great. We will apologize to the venue.
Oh, no. It was awesome.
Good. That's awesome. Now, how is it? So obviously, vendor relationships, working with other vendors, a lot of feedback, a lot of passing business between industries and things like that. How have you been able to work with venues or vendors or people that in the industry? What's been your way of connecting with and working with them?
Yeah, I would say just being myself, right? Because, and everyone says, be yourself, but it's so true because people are very good at detecting a liar.
Yeah.
Like very good. You can have a conversation with someone and be like, yeah, they don't really mean that. Right. And so, I try to be myself. I try to be unique. And when I DJ, I become an amplified version of myself. I call him DJ Scotty J. And he's like, hello, how are you today? And all of that stuff. But it's just an amplified version of who I am, right? Because I'm there to perform. I'm there to help make the night awesome. But when it comes to my vendors and my amazing friends, for example, you, I mean, I try to be myself and really try to care about people because I do care about people. I always have wanted to like make friends with people. And so, the first time that we connected, you were working at Thirst and you guys were looking for a DJ. And I reached out, I said, hey, I can. And I just remember you said, you got to come in. I need to interview you to make sure you're a good fit. And you grilled me. I loved it because I realized this guy is taking it seriously because we're all professionals in this industry, right?
Yeah.
We don't refer someone to someone unless we know they're going to be taken care of, right?
Yeah.
And provide as good of, if not better service than what we're doing, right? That's why I always refer Crisp because I know what they offer. I know what they provide. And you guys did my brother-in-law's wedding. And everything.
You.
I told him you can't have another soda bar unless it's Crisp because they're going to take care of you because I trust them. I know they're going to do a good job.
Thank you.
I feel like that is the best way to have friends in this industry and to make friends with people that you know are going to do a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That just made my day. Thank you.
Of course.
It's true and I think that like I rarely get offended when someone uses a different caterer because I have my niche. I want to be perfect at what I do. I think what you've done that's been very specific and very cool is that same thing. There are the too cool for school DJs that are awesome.
Yeah.
They kill it. They perform at these amazing events. There is I am the realest, funnest, most exciting. And that's the niche you've always filled and always, like, I think that attracts brides to you. I think that attracts just a very specific clientele that is awesome and it's fun. And I haven't had the chance to meet your other DJs, but just knowing you, I'm sure they're similar. I'm sure they're that same upbeat, fun, they connect with the brides. They care about the brides. They are, it's so cool. And that leads me to a question of how do you do it? How do you avoid burnout? You are or you're not catering. You are DJing at all of these events, sometime way late at night. Sometime you have an event the next day. Fridays, Saturdays are crazy in the summers. How do you avoid burnout? How do you stay inspired? How do you adapt, change, all of those things?
Yeah. I mean, I had a real opportunity to just cut everything in August. I DJ'd 18 weddings and 4 other events in August alone.
Yes.
And for you guys do that amount of volume, but you have it spread across the team.
I haven't been to an event, or I go to them, but I just haven't had to be to an event in a while. Yes, you have to be at almost every single one.
Yeah, and I was at all of those events. I was at all 22 events that month. And for me, that was insane. I was like, what am I doing? Because yes, you book it. You're like, so excited. I'm free that day.
Yeah.
And then 6 months before, that's when I start the planning process. And I'm like, what did I do? Oh no, what did I just do? And so during that time, I really dug deep into the routine I had built. I like to wake up around 3:30 or 4 to go to the gym, work out for 2 hours, hit my emails, texts, all of that stuff. Typically try to get that done before 8 or 9. And then I would go out and I'd DJ. Either I'd leave at 4 o'clock or I'd leave at noon. And that's sort of what it was. And then get back at 10, 11, 12 at night and restart the whole thing. And I was like, you know what? I had to realize I love what I do. I'm providing for my family. I made a commitment.
Yeah.
And so I love what I do. I love to DJ.
Yeah.
I love to DJ, whether it's a party, whether I'm just providing background music. I love that so much. And I provide for my family. My wife, I think it was the best thing ever for me because she quit her job last year. And now she is the Weber State dance coach. And so she continues to work. But then I also have my baby.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. So what I've told myself that I've wanted my entire life, provide for my family. So go out and do it. Right.
Yeah.
And so, I just followed those core things of that. And then the last one was I made a commitment. And if I tell someone I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Right. Because if I started not doing that, I wouldn't have a job.
Yeah.
No matter how good of friends I am with people, they just wouldn't trust me anymore.
Yeah.
And so, you have to find your core values and then stick with that because it isn't always going to be rainbows and sunshine. You're going to have fun, right? But it's not always going to be that. Sometimes you have to just put your head down and work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Talk to me. I know everyone always talks about work-life balance. Mm-hmm. It sounds like, and maybe I misheard, but did you say you wake up at 3:30 a.m. and you go to bed at 12? Not every day, but
not
when you
every
have
day,
it, when you have it. Yeah, that's safe. Just everyone listening, totally safe. Recommended 3 hours, 3.5.
That's totally fine.
Sorry, forgive me.
It's totally fine. No, and I
hilarious.
realized that was getting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That shouldn't
I don't
get
know
to,
how, but
it should be Superman. I realized that was getting to me. And so, yes, I'll still wake up at 3:30 almost every day. But the days when I do have an event and everything.
You push it to 4.
I push it to 4. I actually put in a home gym.
Okay.
That was my work-life balance.
Wow.
I was like, hey, I like to go to the gym, like to work out there. But you know what? Some days it's hard to get up that early, and I don't like to work out with a lot of people around me.
Yeah.
Because I
don't think there's that many people at the gym even at 3:30. So I think
thankfully not.
A home gym or
Thankfully not.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I put in a home gym, and
That's cool.
on events days where you know what, I did get home at 12, 1 in the morning. I'm just gonna work out at my home gym and giving myself that balance of I still love to work out, I still love to do this, but also I need to sleep.
Yeah.
So
yeah. How do you balance? Let's talk do you set aside time for your kid and for your wife? How do you do that? Where is that? Where do you find that balance too? Because obviously that's an important part of your life. That's your motivation. At least in my life, when I am on the ropes with my wife and we're mad at each other, it affects every part of my life. Or 100%. If I'm annoyed at my kids, which rarely happens.
Rarely. You never get annoyed with your kids, ever.
Walk me through what you do to mitigate that, work on that. Yeah.
So most people have Saturdays and Sundays and Fridays to really enjoy the weekend, right?
Yeah.
I DJ almost every Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't DJ on Sundays because I'm that's the only day my wife doesn't work.
Yeah.
And the only day that I just don't work. And so I just don't DJ that day. That's why I brought in other DJs. If they want to DJ those days,
they can.
Yeah. I'll book you out for those days. But I always make it so that I never DJ Sundays. And then Wednesdays, I don't work. Sometimes I'll take an event at night, but I don't work Wednesdays. Wednesdays is my Saturday. Cool. And so we either go to the zoo with my daughter. We go to the aquarium. We do something together. We watch Little Mermaid over and over.
Fun. Yes, 100
over
times.
and over. Yes. But it's that day for me to really just be this is my Saturday. If I need to respond to an email, I'll do that. But I'm not going to work. I'm going to spend time with my family. That's and so, cool. Yes, Wednesdays and Sundays are my sort of days.
Yeah, your weekend. It's kind of a fun weekend.
Yeah, and then typically all of the other days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, if I'm not DJing those nights, I try to cut everything off at 5.
Cool.
Yeah, if I have calls later in the evening, I'll do that. But 5 o'clock hits, I'm okay, great. I respond to all my emails, all my texts, all of that stuff. If an emergency comes in, I'll answer it. But if not, I'm done.
Cool.
I'm done. So I can set aside actual time because you can get this.
Yes.
You can work all day and still never finish.
Yeah.
And so you have to have those boundaries for yourself to become human again.
Yeah. No, it 100%. And it helps you be more, I would rather someone works 40 hours for me at 100% efficiency than 80% at 60% or 60 hours. It's just, you want that balance. You want that peak efficiency it's pretty cool. I think, I'm very impressed by that. Okay, let's talk last couple questions.
Yeah.
What's next for you in your DJ career? What are you trying to, and I know we've talked about this, but I know that you like to DJ. You also want to get into more music and things like that. But just tell me, what's next?
Yeah, what's next? I love my job. I love to DJ private events. That is what's made me all of my money in my life. Yes. I've had little jobs before that, but DJing is my career. I love that. I have the dreams of performing on those big stages like Tomorrowland, Ultra, EDC, making my own music, all of that stuff. I would absolutely love that. I'd love when the Olympics come to DJ for the Olympics. Awesome. I mean, represent Utah as a DJ. Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome.
How amazing would that be? And so those are my goals. That is what I want to do.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what's sort of next for DJing. Yeah. Continuing my private events and building my DJ business, bring on more DJs so that, I can train them, teach them how to take care of people how I have, and really give that awesome experience for my couples and then step back a bit.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to go to those concerts. That'll be fun.
Dude, you guys are going to sponsor it.
Yes, we're happy to. We love it.
Dirty sodas for everyone.
Yes. We don't want alcohol.
That's just a mess.
We'll throw our own. We'll make it a Utah Coachella.
We'll do that.
Utah Coachella. That's what we'll be known for. I
Posty
love it.
Can open for me. We'll do that.
Oh, he can open for you. He can open for me. I love that. I love that sentence. That is the best sentence ever. Yes. Oh, that is awesome. Okay, what new projects, what new goals are you excited for? Do you have anything that you're changing? Any new equipment? Walk me through that.
No, I mean, I just brought on, just brought back a video booth from Las Vegas.
Fun.
So that couples can either have their monogram there or their wedding pictures, their wedding slides,
Cool.
wedding video, that kind of stuff on it. And so that's a new project. I'm looking into other types of add-ons because I like to provide the best audio that like money can buy. And so I just provide as much audio as they need, and that's always taken care of. And so now it's going into special effects type of stuff, dancing on the clouds, more CO2 cannons, the cold sparkler machines.
I hate those cold sparklers. They stress me out. They stress me out.
They are so messy, and so that's why I'm always
They're
like,
messy? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so
they just stress me out because they start hitting the roof, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's fine." It's like, no, that's fire. It is not safe.
Yeah, and I mean, the cold sparklers, there's just some powder that you add in it. It isn't flammable unless you have some certain type of flour.
I was gonna say there is. I have.
I don't know what the flour is.
Yes. Yeah. Was that? Did I tell you about this?
No.
This is one of my funniest stories ever. We are at an event. DJ has the cold sparklers on. They had this, I think it was like a dead flowers. It was like a fall wedding, and they wanted it to be like really leaves and things like that. And the main table lights on fire.
Oh my
completely.
gosh.
They're eating their food, lights on fire. One of my kids, bless his heart, he was totally fine. So he's walking by with the tray of fries. He sees this fire and he jumps on top of the fire, puts it out, saves the day. I wanted to kill him. I'm like, you cannot jump on top of a fire. What are you thinking? Gosh. And he saved the day. We got a 5-star review. They were so happy. They loved us. It was great. And I don't know if he made it dramatic when he told me the story. I was shaking.
He totally jumped in the fire.
I don't know if I have no idea how bad it was. It could have been just a little bit, but it was at least big enough that we got praised for it. It stressed me out. I was like, we had to do an official memo. If there's a fire, let other people, or if you have to handle it, handle it. If we have our fire extinguishers that we bring to events, use that. Don't jump on top of a fire. It's one of the fun things of working with kids. I love it.
Just fearless.
Yes, fearless. Stressed me out. He was one of my best workers, but yeah, stressed me out. And so, yeah. Now, give me last question is give me advice for or give aspiring DJs some advice for how to start, how to kind of get their foot in the door, how to start working in Utah weddings.
Yeah, I would say work on your skills, obviously, because you can be the coolest person ever, but if you don't know what song to play next, that's the basis of being a DJ. Yeah. Being able to see the room, play the song, switch the song, and then learning your emceeing skills. That's really important. But then also, I mean, grinding. Yeah. You have to grind. You have to start out at a price that you're comfortable with, raise the price if you want, but start at a comfortable price. And yeah, I mean, I think that I called up 50 or 60 venues before I even got a tour.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that tour was Wadley Farms, and they have been one of my biggest rocks since. They refer me all the time. And so, yeah, you have to work.
Yeah.
Like, it's a job.
Yeah.
It's a job. You can't just think, okay, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to do this and hope people reach out. I mean, people will do that, but you have, if you want to make a career, you have to work.
Yeah.
And you have to treat it like a real job. That's why I invested in all of these like CRMs. I invested in my Gmail, in my Instagram, in all of these social media accounts, because I'm like, I have to invest in that. But I would say the most important investment are vendors, referrals, that kind of stuff. You have to do that because, I mean, without you, I mean, you've sent me so much stuff. You have. Other vendors have sent me so much stuff. And it's because you provide a good product, you're a trustworthy person, and you are just you, right?
Thank you.
So
thank you. And that's why we refer so many people to you, because you're a rock star. Seriously. So, we'll wrap up. Thank you, DJ Scotty J, for your time and thoughts.
Thank you.
And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to Weddings Unwrapped. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review. Until then, keep chasing your dreams, and that is a wrap.
Thank you so much.
You're the best.